How's it going? Mike D here with Martial Arts Business System and Martial Arts Business Websites. As you can see, I'm in the car here, and the reason why I pulled over to do this video for you because I was on a phone call recently going over some upgrade programs with a client, and I realized that this message is so evergreen. It's just so important that I just felt compelled to put this together for you real quick. So here goes. It has to do with upgrade programs and literally how easy they are to get going, and the fact that they don't have to be, you don't have to be any slick sales or anything like that, or any kind of verbal jiu-jitsu or verbal judo, because there's three things that once you put them in place, upgrades will flow, and none of those have to do with money, and none of them have to do with selling, really, when you think about it. And so what are upgrades, right? You think about your black belt club, your master's club, your leadership program, whatever the case may be. Any program where someone's going to commit to go for the long haul, right? So there's three things that have to be in place first. So here are the three things. One, the student first has to make a psychological commitment to themselves. So they first make a psychological commitment to themselves, and they can do this in a myriad of ways. I'll come back to this in a second. Number two, second thing that has to be in place, they make a public commitment, okay, to themselves. So they make a public commitment to themselves and also to their peers, to their classmates, to almost the entire school. So you have the psychological commitment to themselves, then they have the public commitment that they make to everyone else in the school in a very subtle way. They don't like get up there and say, hey, I'm going to be a black belt someday. Not for the most part. They don't have to do it, so it's really easy. There's no pressure, but they make this public commitment. At the same time, they make this private commitment. And then from there, they can make a commitment to you and to your school, okay? So those three things. First, they make a commitment to themselves. Almost simultaneously, they make a public commitment. And then the third thing they do is they make a commitment to you. Now, all that happens before any conference takes place. All that happens before any money is talked about. All that happens before any contracts are talked about. Now, when you have the system in place, what happens is you've probably heard of the whole saying. We've heard it from Dan Kennedy. We've heard it from other gurus in the industry. They talk about takeaway selling. What is this takeaway selling? But it's kind of like smoke and mirrors. It's kind of like this unicorn, because no one really knows how to do it. People always feel like they're chasing upgrades, right? They're chasing these upgrades to where really we want our upgrades and our long-term students to come to us. So when you put those three things in place, psychological commitment to themselves, public commitment, number two, and number three, then it's the private commitment to you. Then you can talk about terms. If you want them to go longer, 3-year programs, 4-year programs, you want them to pay more money, you can talk about all that. You don't even have to do any of that if you don't want to, but you will increase your retention and get more people committed to black belt when they make those three commitments. First to themselves, then to the public, and then to you personally. And there's a few ways to do it. Goal setting exercises, things that happen in the basic class, things that can happen in a one-on-one setting. All right, but just keep those three things in mind and build on those. Psychological commitment to themselves, public commitment, and then finally a private commitment to you. Talk to you soon.